What's up, everyone? Welcome to the Derek O'Shea Show. Over the weekend, we saw huge changes in the European Parliament, in the EU, Ireland, France, and more to come. This far-right movement that everyone on the left is losing their marbles about. And why are they losing their minds about? Because it's going to be an entire cultural shift. See, I am under the impression that I think a lot of us aren't as individualistic or single-minded as we might hope or believe. That we are all fed a certain algorithm, and we all come to the same conclusion, the same consciousness, sometimes at the same time. And so as the Europeans' immigration crisis mimics ours in an incredible ways, you are seeing a more nationalist, America first, France first, Ireland first, Belgium first movement, and that is going to freak out the establishment. That is going to freak out the globalists that have been pushing for this unification for so long. Because when they look at the world, they see a melting pot. They want everyone in the same algorithm, the same ideas, living in the same 15-minute cities compared to us, where we see each other as individualistic, different ideas, different values. Hey, you do you, I'll stay over here and do me, but I want freedom over everything else. And so over the weekend, we saw the far right rising and freaking people out. And is it far right? No. No, of course it's not far right. What kind of silly push is that? It's just being anti-mass migration and congealing of ideas together, that we're all supposed to be on the same algorithm. We're all supposed to be raising our LGBTQ flags together. I'm starting to see that flag as less supporting and encouraging gay people or trans people or lesbian or whatever to be free and say that we're here and we're queer, and more about the world coming together. I believe, and this might be too fringe, I am starting to come to the conclusion that that flag is a representation of what they want the world to be. They want us all in this bubble together. They want us all pushing up in the algorithms. What is the most important person in the group? And it's not you. It's not me. It's them. And so they are freaking out. And I believe, because of how crazy things are going to continue to get. That's why I put in the title. It's about to get ugly. I think the left is going to start freaking out. They're going to start freaking out because they just saw all the huge wins by the right in European countries. Nah, they don't like that. They don't like that one bit. How's it going, Willie? How's it going, Joshua? I think things this summer are going to ramp up because their candidate that is stopping this quote unquote far right movement is Joe Biden. And Joe Biden doesn't fill anybody with hope. Even if you're a far leftist, you want the Democrats to do well. These are your people. You are going to feel like you already lost. And when you feel cornered in your beliefs, because you have been pushing on the right wingers for a very long time, you've been telling them that they're racist, that they're fascist. You've been locking up political opponents. You've been going after strong political commentators. And now you're going to have to reap the harvest in which you sowed. And they're not going to like what they put out in the world. Because what you put out in the world will come back and bite you in the butt. You know, you create the monster of the people of the right. They will become that. And so I think they're going to be very afraid of what some of these repercussions are going to be. And I would like to see what's actually going to happen with these quote unquote far right people on the left and on the right that have risen. Far right emerges in Ireland ahead of the European elections. Willie says, here comes the conservatives everywhere. And that's 100% true. The conservative message is going to resonate with people. In our major cities everywhere, we're seeing crime rates skyrocket. I'm going to write down crime. Crime rates are going up. You're seeing mass migration continue to rise. No answers. Of course, everything about mass migration is not about feeling good and, like, let's save these people. It's about money. It's always about money. These people want and they desire cheap labor. They don't care about raising the minimum wage for you to feel better. You think these companies want that? No. That's why you're seeing these major technological companies push jobs overseas for cheaper labor.
Hey, we're all about American jobs here. That's why we're firing you for cheap labor in India.
Violet says, I don't want to see any right swing pendulum so too far to the left. Well, that's what's going to happen. See, that's why I think like the pendulum is starting to swing. And the left is so insane that even people in the middle are being called conservative or MAGA or whatever. And they're like, I don't even believe what they believe. Why am I being put in this? They're like, because the left is just so insane. That's why John Fetterman says things like, the left, the progressive movement has left me. Because it's a cult, it's a religion. It's always going to leave you. There's always a new thing to learn. Deli says, I enjoyed the little I watched. Great energy. Would love to be a fan of yours. If you don't mind, kindly Discord record. Thank you so much. We all know who is what and who is happening in Ireland. Yes. Shout out to the Irish people everywhere. The pendulum is swinging because the left has gone too far. They've gone too far and too insane. So I'm concerned of what this election is actually going to be about. I'm concerned what things are going to come about because of how far the pendulum is going to swing. It makes you wonder. I'm excited about a lot of it because I'm ready for some pushback. I'm ready for a disruptor. I'm ready for a candidate to actually be a disruptor. I'm ready for Donald Trump if he wins, which I assume so based on all the polls, even though we don't believe the polls. Polls, fantastic. But I assume that's what's going to happen. So the far right is emerging. And nothing makes news organizations harder and more excited about talking about the right than saying things like far right. So let's find out how Fox News is coming to this idea, coming to this phenomenon of the right kind of rising up in the ranks. How will they respond? How will Neil Cavuto actually talk about the far right? Get in the chat and let me know, do you think the right is going to continue to stack up wins because the left has shot their entire load? Let's listen.
Foreign policy advisor under one Maggie Thatcher. Now, always great to have you. You know, it'd be one thing to say this is sort of like a worldwide march to the right, but in your country, it's the right that's in trouble. I'm wondering, given the fact that the Tories are having a tough time with it and Rishi Sunak might be on his way out as prime minister, could this be deemed more like an anti-incumbent wave building? How would you describe it?
Whoa.
Neil, great to be on the show. Many thanks for having me on the show today.
Cheers, mate.
As you point out, of course, huge political changes in Europe with a dramatic shift to the right for most of Europe. But in the UK, we are seeing the Conservative government there in deep trouble. And I think in large part that's due to the fact that the Conservatives have been in power now for 14 years. You've had successive prime ministers.
Right.
And you have a government that has, in the UK, I think, failed to deliver on a lot of its promises. And in my view, the Conservative government in the UK has not been conservative enough, which is why you now have a party called Reform, headed by Nigel Farage, that is taking a lot of the Conservative vote. The end result, unfortunately, is likely to be, unless there's a dramatic change in the polls, a socialist government taking power in the UK, while most of the rest of Europe actually is moving rightward. So I do think in the UK it's a case of the British electorate basically having had enough of an incumbent government that's been in power for 14 years. In Europe, however, in continental Europe, I think there are real sweeping ideological political changes that are taking place, whereby European electorates have really had enough of ruling left-wing elites that have been in power for such a long time. They want to see change. They want to see secure borders. They want to see an end to mass migration.
Yes, this is all about mass migration. Why? Because the Uniparty, the people of the global elites, the WHO, whatever, the EU, like they all want us on cheap labor while they continue to get more powerful. They continue to get richer off your backs, mine and your backs. That's what they want more than anything in the world. Let me see some of y'all's chats. Rise of the MAGA King. This is Ultra MAGA. Why did people stop using that? It sounds super cool. Yeah. Let's bring it back. Sunak reminds me of Newsom. Yeah. The right may win the minds and hearts of the people, but may lose in their actions. Joshua, that is always something to be aware of. But I think the right is just so mad, and understandably. I understand. You can only bully and, make people feel crazy for so long. Like, what is a woman? Like, you can only push people in the corner. You can only put baby in the corner. You can only make people feel so insecure and so freaked out about the world and how things are shaping up around them before people pop, before people snap and they're like, oh, I got to do something. Something needs to change. This is not working. This is not the America I thought I was getting into. I'm thinking about moving out of the country to other countries for the first time in my life because I'm worried about safety and security of my own family. As you're watching these DAs just let these criminals out. So of course the right is going to have the message of, I will bring about safety and security for this country. Of course that's going to resonate. The Republicans have a T-ball shot in this election. If they it up, in which they are incredible at doing so, just incredible, it will be one of the biggest L's in the history of politics. Like, this should be a Nixon-like election. This should be a landslide. There should be states that flip to Trump that you go, no fucking way, bro. How did that state flip? There's something called righteous anger. Oh, 100%. 100%. And I think it's going to continue to happen, but let's continue to listen to this. I mean, it's an incredible. Joe Biden put out that statement just the other day that he was like, hey, guess what, guys? I'm going to start worrying about border security. Okay, we're going to make sure this whole asylum thing is going away. It's going to be a way more fucking secure border, and you can guarantee that. Everyone knew that was bullcrap. Everyone didn't. No one believes you when you talk. And that's why a clip of mine towards the end of the show that I'm going to share that I think it just like puts the cherry on the top of everything we're talking about. But let's go back to this video because I'm always curious to hear what people from the other side of the sea have to say, mate.
And so in continental Europe, it's a combination, I think, of rejecting decades-long ruling elites, but also, I think, significant ideological changes that you're seeing in continental Europe. It's not the same case in the UK. You're not seeing the British people, I think, embracing socialism. They just want to see a political change of leadership, according to most opinion polls.
I think that is the sentiment of most people everywhere, from left to right, is they want to see something change. That's what I want to see. I want to feel something different. Willie says, where were the rhinos hiding out? Well, exactly. Where will the Uniparty hide after this election is the question. People want to see something different. We know what we're getting. You vote for a Lindsey Graham, you know what you're getting. You're getting war pushed down your throat, and then you're like, hey, but I'll lower some taxes for you. Inflation is going to continue to rocket up, though. Move to the hills first, Derek. Join me in Amish country, Amish Mexico, dude. I'm there. Let's go. I'm ready to. I'll milk the out of those udders. Okay, let's keep listening.
Yeah, sometimes it's a jump ball distinguishing between Tory and labor movements in your fine country. But having said that, you know, if it's working out well, the population will reward that government in power in Mexico. The ruling party on the left is still in power, entrenched in power, and got more power. So whether people agree or disagree with that, if it's working for...
Yeah, this idea of Mexico, though, isn't Mexico just a cartel state? Yeah. They don't really reflect us as much.
People in that country, they're fine. If it's not, to your point, of the European continent, they're not fine. I'm just wondering where this goes, because things happen in waves. I can remember in your great country with the whole Brexit thing, and Boris Johnson and separating from Europe in unequivocal terms. That really paved the way, if you think about it, for Donald Trump's election in this country. Are we seeing the same now?
Yeah, that's a great point. And as
Great
you
point.
mentioned, of course, the 2016 Brexit.
Great point, Neo Cavuto. Stinky, what's up? Stinky in the house. If they can elections, the presidential elections, I bet they can ballots, elections. Yeah, if Donald Trump doesn't win, I think you're going to have a lot of angry people.
Vote came in advance of the US presidential election that swept Donald Trump into power. So could you see something similar in the United States? I would say that if you look at the issues that European voters have focused on, mass migration,
Right.
open borders, soaring crime,
Totally.
rising cost of living.
Exactly.
Also, a fundamental rejection of left-wing
Yeah, exactly. It's not inflation. It's rising cost of living. Dumb it down for the people because they're too f***ing stupid.
green environmental policies, a rejection of net zero. These are all big issues in the United States for American voters as well. I would imagine that today the Biden White House is very nervous, actually, looking at developments across the Atlantic.
And I think that's the thing for me. Is the Biden White House look nervous at all to you? No, seriously. Does Biden look nervous at all? I don't think so. Are they really even campaigning? Not really. Then why? Are they already conceding? Do they already know that they've lost? Or is there something else in the bag that's coming out later? It makes you wonder.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
You are too.
Where European electorates are fundamentally rejecting left-wing political rulers and parties. And I would describe the Biden administration as the most left-wing U.S. administration in American history. And look at what is happening in Germany with Olaf Scholz, for example, a socialist, polling at only around 14%. Look at what's happening with Emmanuel Macron, who is very much a leader of the left, whose party only received 15% of the vote in the European parliamentary elections. So big trouble ahead potentially for Joe Biden, judging by what's happening in Europe, because these are the same issues on both sides of the Atlantic, and European voters really had enough of ultra-woke, left-wing, so-called progressive elites who have fundamentally, in their view, changed Europe for the worse.
Yeah, I think I can. Oh, I think I can speak for everyone here that everyone is kind of tired of your woke religion, because it's a lot, and even some of the people that I know that get excited about this woke stuff or learning new languages, and I just want to make sure that I don't offend anyone. I want to make sure that I don't say the wrong thing. Even they are starting to get to the point where, like, so what am I allowed to say today? Willie says replacement in the wing. I have always been a proponent of Joe Biden will be replaced. There's no way. There's no way the Democrat Party could be this like, oh, we'll just lose. They're too good at fighting. And they act like children when they lose. In most of these woke countries, it's too late. We'll see. We'll see. All right, let's see how Insider News responds to some of this kind of far right movement. Oh, I pulled up The Guardian. French parties hold emergency talks with possible allies for snap election. Oh no. What am I supposed to do? These freaking far right people are going to kill off European Parliament. You got to pay for this. I'm not going to pay for that. Here we go. French leader calls for new legislation vote after far-right victory in EU polls. They're freaking out. They're nervous. Vox, one of my favorites. Why Europe is lurching to the right. Far-right parties make big gains. So many gains. Lurching to the right. Far-right parties make big gains in the EU Parliament elections. It's already having an effect. They're scared. They're freaked out. I love this one here. The main takeaways after the far right rocks European Parliament. Rocks European politics, sparking a snap election in France. Joe signed away, aka amnesty, asylum for 350,000 illegal migrants. Yeah, and they're going to continue to do so. I don't push it past the Republicans from doing something similar though. And then we have far right parties gain in Europe. Like every news, CBS, of course, every news site is kind of pushing this whole far right crap. And then, so let's get to Insider News, see how they handle this whole far right movement. Plunge. The stocks plunge due to Republicans snapping down and the far right snapping down on inflation, which is going to happen. How do they fearmonger when they are in fear? Exactly. These people are obsessed with fearmongering. I mean, it works. One of the greatest emotions, the strongest emotions you can have with people is fear. The far uniparty here. Shout out to the Rumble chat. Socle bleu. Et le bleu, c'est le bleu. Et le bleu que le bleu.
C'est une vraie émotion.
Fais le sol le bleu. Macron. How is France's Emmanuel Macron, his teacher, aka wife that's 30 years older than him, gonna handle this? She's gonna have to tutor the shit out of him. Far right national rally received twice as much. I'm just the constant push.
You're a lying dog faced pony.
The constant push to be like, these people are freaking so far right.
George is getting upset.
Like, you don't even get it.
You crazy as hell.
Thanks, Medea. Like, they have no game plan for losing. No, they don't. They're gonna freak out. I think the game plan is, and I'll show you in a second what the game plan is. Let's see. I think I have something right around. Oh, here. Okay. Here is what's happening in France as we speak. Here's literally what's happening in France. This is their reaction. How do you guys in the chat, how do you think people in France are going to be reacting to this news of the far right winning? Chat, how do you think they're going to react? What does the far leftists know best? What is their answer to what's happening? How is JB still there? No one knows. How will the far left handle this news? What will be their answer? Get in the chat, tell me. Let me know what you think. I think it's exactly what you think. Jeffrey Phillips says France is woke. Yes. Party. Willie says party. Will it be a party? What kind of party? A mostly f***ing peaceful party? Yeah, you guessed it. Here's France right now. Attention, France. Please, go back home. Nobody wants your stupid leftist losers. Please go back home and suck on a croissant. Smoke your cigarettes, watch your football, and go back inside immediately. For this is France's Macron.
Go back inside. It's exactly, oh my God.
That's exactly how leftists know how to do it. I mean, when if Trump wins, if Trump goes to the podium, I accept this total W after 34 felonies. I think this is going to be the same response we'll get here. BLM takeover style event. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Violet says, when I saw the broccoli-haired kids all shocked in the bar in one video going around, I think I have that video up as well. Do not worry. I have found that video. I'm just I'm excited about winning, but also nervous about winning, about this cultural shift. I'm nervous and excited. I think that's like a healthy thing to be. I think it would be childish to be like, oh, total dubs, total fucking dubs, bro. Because people, the insanity of the left is not just going to go away. They've been told, they've been vindicated about their riots. They've been paid out over these riots. They never got in trouble over these riots. In fact, it's almost like they're encouraged. Some of them seem like get paid for this. A lot of them don't have jobs. A lot of them on Social Security or Medicaid. I don't have to work. I'm on fucking unemployment. So many leftists I know are on unemployment. I don't get it. Okay, and then here we have them, and I think this is the video Violet's talking about. Broccoli-haired kids. Here's the leftists reacting in f***ing France. I'm nervous. You have lost. Go home. Yes, go home. You leftists have lost. The right has taken over. The right is the only way to freedom and truth. Join the right. Yes, I said it. You lost. The far right has taken its foothold in your life. Yes. That's a real video. No, Sacre Bleu! Sacre fucking bleu, man! I love how mad they get. I hope we get some like Hillary Clinton crying videos. I hope we get that one girl. I think I have her somewhere. Where? Oh, no, I do have her. Where is it? Triggered. Where's my trigger tab? I hope we have more of these people. Your leftist tears. Oh, mummy. I've never seen leftists here. Oh, you're in the wrong city then. I've seen plenty of them. Blue-haired Blue hair turn purple. Stick to the Putin, build back better. I just love how it's just, we have a perfect they them here. Wonderful. And to watch them freak out. You know what I feel like the most interesting thing about this video that's like kind of occurring to me is, yes, it's a bunch of French men freaking out that the right is winning in France, but it's all men. It's all men. Some have makeup on, but it's all men. Well, we got a couple girls here, but a lot of men. Maybe some of the women stayed home. Maybe they didn't want anything of it. Okay, let's see what some of these on the street interviews are saying when it comes to this far right. Well, he says, I'm not near a city, 3,000 people here. That's why. I live in a big city. Tons of them. Karina, what's up? Karina. Gay bar. Gay bars have the best music. It's just a fact. Stream people can't handle it. okay, here we go.
Schockierend. Also,
let's find out what some of these far right people are saying in Europe.
ja, es ist schockierend. Also, irgendwie weiß ja nicht.
It's shocking. I mean, everyone knows by now that there's a drift to the right.
Mittlerweile, dass man einen Rechtsruck hat und so, aber man lebt trotzdem.
But I still kind of lived in my own bubble, thinking not everybody would vote for them.
Ein bisschen so in seiner eigenen Blase und denkt, alle wählen halt nicht so. Und dann ist irgendwie doch.
But it's daunting to see it written in black and white.
Wieder krass, wenn man das dann so schwarz auf weiß sieht.
Hope you liked my translations. Some of my best work, I know. Fear over inflation and immigration. Isn't it incredible that people from a different country, from across the pond, their same fears, their same worries about our own country and their own country is exactly the same. And that's why I think like we're on this weird algorithm thing where everyone, all the woke, we're kind of dominating. Now the woke is starting to go away, and now you're getting this right surge, this response to mass migration, inflation, and wars going around the world. It's like Joe Biden comes out every day. It's like we need to spend another $300 million in Ukraine and push this war even more. Even though over the weekend we had Russian ships docking in Cuba and Venezuela, and we're like, yeah, it's like whatever, They're not gonna attack us. Why would they attack us? Even though we're funding a war with them, and our own weapons are being used to fight them. Why would they go after us? That's crazy. So you're getting a very populist movement of like, I don't want any of this. I don't want this.
Je pense qu'il y a une partie de la France qui nous déteste.
I think there's a part of France that hates us, who think we're the cause of their problems. No. No one is, and that's like, no, like I am not mad at a bunch of illegal migrants like rushing our border. I like, it's like annoying, and I'm like, I want you to assimilate. I want you to, be a part of like good things in America. We are mad at our fucking politicians that lie to our face saying, the border is secure. Okay, the border's secure, everyone. Like, no one believes this anymore. And we know what's going to be the effects of this mass surge of migrants. All these corporations are going to be very pumped up about their new low-income wage earners. So no one is mad at these people. Unless you're like going into these cities, causing havoc, you're creating more crime, which is very like you give a bunch of young men that have crossed the border and no one has jobs, and you just like pay for them to live in hotels and stuff. Crime is going to happen. I mean, you'd be crazy not to. It's like, well, if I can get away with all this stuff, I'm not going to get deported. I just go to a different state. Why would I stop? No one's mad at these people. I mean, I'm mad at the people that come here, aren't appreciative, and then just go on to living a life of crime, murdering people. Like, we're against that here. Big stance.
Big stance here at the Derek O'Shea Show. I'm against murder.
We're mad at our politicians that have created this crisis. Some of the sexual, the RIPIGs that is happening at the border, like that kind of stuff, that should make the average citizen mad. Anybody that's like, that doesn't happen, you're an idiot. Like you're dumb. A bunch of criminals that are running the asylum, crime is going to happen. The deepest and darkest things of men and women will come about in times of crisis, in times of fear, in times of like willing to do whatever it takes in order to become an American. Okay, so no one's mad at migrants. If you're mad at these people, or illegal immigrants, whatever word you want to use, they're illegal. Like your gaze is to the wrong thing, and that's what they want. It's like the Republic. Like politicians always want you mad at the person on the other side of the aisle, because if they can get you to accomplish this, then they can just run amok and they can just stay in power. That's how people like Mitch McConnell or like Nancy Pelosi, that's how these people stay in power forever, because we're just like pointing the finger at stupid woke people, stupid racist people. Like that's what they want us to keep going. Go back and apply properly. Yeah. Okay.
Qui pensent qu'on est la cause de leurs problèmes. Et si on pouvait leur dire que nous aussi,
We can only tell them that we too are being exploited. Of course they are. Of course these people are being exploited. That's why you're allowed to come. You think these politicians just want people to come? No. You've given an entire new millions of people to exploit. You're going to do. If you're an evil corporation or evil dictate like politician, you want to exploit these people. And that's what they're doing. And that's what the left does in a different way.
on est exploité. Et nous aussi, on souffre de la même manière qu'eux. Peut-être qu'on arriverait aujourd'hui à faire comprendre quelque chose.
Ich finde es enttäuschend, dass die Grünen so schlecht abgeschnitten haben. Das ist die einzige Partei, die wirklich was Sinnvolles tut, und dann wird es immer wieder boykottiert und sabotiert auch von den Bürgern. Weil halt jeder Umweltschutz will, aber niemand auf seine Kosten.
The shift is happening. The shift is happening. Fear is ensuing. Here are the main takeaways after the far right's surprising EU election win. Political earthquakes in France. Scandals do little harm in Germany's hard right. God. Why? Why do you have to use like sexual terms in order for me to laugh? The pro-European center holds. Green and liberals take a f***ing hit. What's next? They're freaking out. They're scared. How could we let this happen? How could people not be for our policies? Are they just all racist? Because that's what they want you to think, right? It's like, if the rise of the right, the rise of the political right, the populist movement, make America great again, make France great again, if this stuff rises, it has to be because they're racist. It's just like, it's the same thing with the Spokane, Washington, with those kids just doing skid marks or just having a great time on the LGBTQ flag in the middle of the street. Like, the only reason these kids would do this is because they hate f***ing trans people. Like, no, maybe they're just kids. Or, and maybe the average American isn't racist, but just wants to live a happy and peaceful life and feels like we aren't able to because of the policies that are getting shoved down our throats. Yes, Willie, thank you so much. Hit the like button. And then we have France Macron. Not France Macron. Justin Trudeau. God, they're all the same to me. Doesn't Macron and Trudeau kind of give you the same vibes? They're the same person to me. Way too smooth. Way too, like, everyone is totally stoked on me, even though that's not even remotely true. Okay, here's Justin Trudeau responding to this
MAGA movement.
Okay.
We have seen around the world a rise of populist right-wing forces in just about every democracy that we've seen. And it is of concern to see political parties choosing to instrumentalize anger, fear, division, anxiety.
Institutionalizing anxiety? Who does that? Is it the right? Or is it you? Because there's only one party that makes me freak out about my future, and it's the left. God. Yeah, honk honk. Everyone put a honk in the chat. Put a honk in the chat for Justin Trudeau.
To instrumentalize
Instrumentalize.
anger, fear, division, anxiety.
Instrumentalize anger, fear, division, and anxiety. Who does that? See, these people on the left, they're just like, if you call out them on their bullshit, they're like, wow, you're instrumentalizing anger and fear towards us. Like, no, we just are angry. And we do have fears because of your policies. People are getting to the point where they are getting angry. Surprise, surprise. When you shut down elementary schools for migrants to live in, people that are parents are angry. It's not because they're racist. It's because you or policies are making other people's lives who are tax-paying citizens, their lives worse. And people get to a breaking point. People get to a breaking point. And nobody institutionalizes or shoves or pushes anxiety or fear porn better than the left. I mean, that is why you saw Hillary Clinton over the weekend for D-Day putting out that tweet saying that this election cycle is like just like D-Day, we're voting for democracy, like trying to insinuate that voting for Trump is essentially ushering in a Hitler era. What? And those of us that were alive during that time know that that's not what it was like. Okay, so here we go.
Anger, fear, division, anxiety.
He loves China.
My approach has always been to respond to it, to understand it, and to look to solve it, to roll up our sleeves, work.
Oh God, I hate when people talk like that. Am I the only one that's like, my response, listen, I'm like a lot smarter than a lot of you guys out here. I'm like really smart. And like, I'm trying to like dumb it down for you dumb people out here because you don't get my level of expertise. I'm Justin Trudeau. Ever heard of that? My Canadian friends disappoint me so much during the trucker convoy, Hong Kong indeed. Dude, that was the most insane thing ever.
To respond to it, to understand it, and to look to solve it, to roll up our sleeves, work hard, and with ambition for this country and for our future. And I continue to be
side smile
convinced the Canadians are thoughtful about the challenges we're facing and ready to see them solved, rather than just allow themselves to be have their anger amplified without any solutions offered.
We're doing everything we can to solve it. Okay. We're rolling up our sleeves and we're figuring out things. Okay. The Canadian people are considerate. He's so insufferably smug. I just can't do it. It reminds me of so many people that like I met in like my time in higher education, where you're just like, I get it. You got degrees. Wow. You're so fucking cool, dude. You're so smart. So it reminds me of like people that like get caught up in higher education and they like live at universities and then like they just like speak with their nose a little higher, like, based on my research that I've been researching in the library. Do you know what research is? Yeah, I open up books and I read. You ever done that? Probably not. You're probably on your TikToks or whatever. I'm reading and researching some of the brightest minds ever, and I'm interacting with these types of people. Yeah, me. I'm doing that. And while you're just consuming media, I'm like creating. So, thank you. Be sure to look at my dissertation when I'm done. I'm really smart. You're just like, God, I'm gonna punch you right in the freaking face. Shut up. God. I can't like I have a master's degree, but like every minute that I'm in higher education, I'm like ready to get out. Like I just stop it. Stop talking to me like that. I get it. You don't have to like say it to me like I'm stupid. I get it. Liar all day. He's worse than Biden. Oh, yeah. Justin Trudeau's way worse than Biden. Way worse. Way worse politically. Way worse with his mouth. Way worse, like, like everything. Like, yeah. If I had to choose between those two, I would choose Joe Biden all day long. I would choose a guy that poops his pants and doesn't know what time it is. So French July 7th snap election will be still a win in the opposition. Yes, yes. And here's another like indication right here. This video right here that's been circulating. The rise of the political right is this in a nutshell. Over the weekend, LA citizens or non-citizens decided to take on an AutoZone and just destroy it.
Oh wow, they got the door open.
Just good people. These are just good people. If we just give these people jobs, they'll stop this sort of rhetoric. They're just getting bread for their families. Good people. They're just getting bread. Okay. Okay, I know what you're gonna say, right-wingers. Don't say that. See, there's a woman walking the streets, right? Where'd she just come from? Right here, there's a woman walking away. What? White girl, put your mask on like the rest of them. Okay? Just going in, getting their new filters for their cars. Oh.
Damn.
An African-American gentleman.
What can I say?
What can you say?
But if they thought
a lot of people without masks, really f***ing stupid. It's great to see. This is why the right is rising. People don't feel safe in cities. We can't have cities in America that just this happens. This is not a new normal. This is not something people are going to just sit by idly and go, you know what? If these kids want to f***ing riot, let them do it. They're having fun. They're getting bread for their families. Yeah. You have a job? Well, they do too. Okay? Get used to it. This is the new normal. And the only reason that you have any pushback is because you're racist. With a hard R. Serious. The rise of the right is happening because mass migration, crime skyrocketing, unrest in the world, inflation, which rises to more crime. Like, do I work a $15 an hour job, or do I just steal what I want? I get away with it, and I don't even have to go to f***ing prison about it. It's awesome. I can steal as much as I want. People will celebrate me over this kind of stuff. The American public is dumb. Like, I'm dumb, you're dumb, we're all dumb, but we're not this dumb that we can just sit by and go, you know what? If our inner cities, our great American cities just decay, it's a good thing. People are going to get tired of it. Even people in inner cities are tired of it. You're watching people push back, get more angry. You're watching vigilantism continue to rise in American cities, where people are just walking the streets saying, We're the safety patrol of our area because cops aren't coming out. Where's Batman when you need him? Get Batman out here. Sick of it. Why is the far right like rising? Oh. Right here, idiot. What are your thoughts on this? I just like, none of them can install parts they stole. How dare you? You don't know that, okay? You don't know that. People can't handle this. I can't handle it. Like, I don't want to like go to these inner cities and be freaked out. It's like, oh, well, here's another reason right here. Here's a Chicago teacher showing his outfit for the day.
Can I hear a little?
Why the right is going to continue to rise. Like, we get it. It's your religion. You worship this flag. This is everything to you. Like, this isn't, you know, it was like, oh, you want to have gay pride. Okay, fine, whatever. You want to have prides. Fine, whatever. Now it's months. Now it's 100 billion days out of the year. Now it's like, it's not just gay and lesbian, and it's like trans and black and Hispanic and boy and girl. It's like everything they want in one flag. That's like, we get it. It's your religion. But people are struggling to get by in life. We don't need your fucking religion. God, why is the right rising up? Because we don't want this. We don't want to sell. This isn't something to be admired. Wow, you're wearing a LGBTQ flag dress. You're so brave. You probably got a raise after wearing that dress. like we're just tired of the bullcrap. We're tired of it. We get it. You're obsessed with yourself. So you're all about pride in yourself and all about like pushing your own agenda and like worshiping yourself, and you know, you do you, boo. Unless it goes against everything I believe. Valerie from Russia says, Russia talking about nuking Netherlands and invading France probably was an influence. You Russians. Valerie, I love that you are from Russia in the chat. You're not my own Russian. Maybe, wait, are you KGB? I think Valerie's CIA. I literally don't care if men want to wear dresses, but they keep picking hideous ones. Yeah, exactly. If you're gonna wear an LGBTQ dress, make it fucking fabulous. Take back God's sign of hope. Just take back, like, I just like, it's the cringe that is like, believe everything I say, or like, if you don't believe everything I have to say and everything I believe in, then you're a threat to democracy, or you're a threat to me, and therefore I can do whatever I want to you. And that's the message of the left. My favorite is seeing this too as well. Corinne Jean Pierre saying the most ridiculous thing she possibly can come out with out of her fucking mouth, and says this.
Now, when I address the press from the White House podium, the only thing that stands between me and getting our message out to the American public is whether the people sitting in those chairs and the folks watching at home feel like they can trust me, feel like the information that I am providing is worthy for them, and that they can trust, obviously, that information. Now, when I address the press...
Yeah, it's the if you would just trust me, things would be better. Nobody trusts you, bitch. Nobody fucking trusts you, girl. Nobody. Your job as a press secretary, I don't care if you're on the right or left, your job is to lie. Your job is to make the president look good, even if he doesn't. Joe Biden comes out today and says apples are white. Your job is to be like, every apple everywhere is white, and the only people saying apples are red are right-wing conspiracy theorists. Like, that is your entire job. If people would just believe me. God. Nobody believes anything the press says anymore. Nobody believes politicians anymore. Another reason why the right is rising up is because the left has had a strong hold in all these institutions for too long, to the point where people look at them and go, you're lying. You're lying to me. I know you're lying to me, and I don't believe you. And so what you have to do is convince us, but you can't, because the minute you have any pushback, you're like, wow, this is racism. This is a MAGA extremist. This is a far right, whatever crap. Yeah, this is what you have to say. You have to use fear mongering in order to get your point across, because no one believes what you have to say. It's just incredible. UK tabled a bill to remove Christianity today. Shut up. Are you serious? Of course they did. Of course they freaking did. All right, guys. I've had so much fun tonight with you guys. I hope you guys have had fun too. I hope this was like the best hour of your day. I learned a lot today. You know? Am I the only one that believes that? I mean, I feel like I learned a lot. Let's get a recap. We learned a lot today. Yeah. We learned so much. We learned that the far right is rising up. And leftists everywhere are freaking out. But you don't need to freak out, because I think this rhetoric is on purpose to make you scared. But don't be scared. No. We're in this together. Things get out of hand this summer, in this election cycle. Come to the Derek O'Shea Show. Let off some steam. I'll interact with you. Even if your whole family tells you that democracy has ended. It's not. We're going to be just okay. And I bet a lot of these far-right candidates aren't even going to be that far right. Just the guess, just the hint. Maybe I'm alone in that. Maybe you feel that way too. If you don't mind dropping a like and put in a comment below. And if you're new here, subscribe. We go live 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. Come say hello. Come talk. Come say shalom. Rumble, YouTube, Twitter. The random Kick person. I don't even know how Kick works. I'm such a boomer. Still figuring it out. Willie says, excellent show. Thank you so much, Willie. This music. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Look out for that show.